Hi, y'all. We back with another one, man. Y'all know how we do. I got a good one for us today. I'm gonna wait for everybody to tap in. Shout out to Trey if he had one. A good one. A good debate. I may touch on. We have enough time, but definitely gonna touch on this Issa Rae and her new movie about black television story. So a lot of people been saying good things about it, man. I'm gonna wait for the game to come in here. I want to know what y'all think about it though. And the movie, I'm gonna definitely check it out and give my opinion. It come out on the 9th, so I'm gonna definitely check it out. I should have went to the slim screen, but we all good. Let me see. Oh, it's disabled my live. That's crazy. Sound good though, but I'm gonna go over with Issa Rae, man, and then we gonna go over the Black Irishman. Jumps out the give facts about how we came from America, but without further ado, let's get started on Issa Rae. I want to hear some more about this. And as y'all watching it, I want to know if y'all.
I should know you be here. Playtime's over, boy. Kiss my Converse. Show enough.
Y'all are some nerds.
Yeah.
That's award-winning actor, producer, and writer Issa Rae, starring in the critically acclaimed series Insecure. You know the show. Now she's executive producer and of a new documentary called Seen and Heard, the history of Black television. The two-part series explores the history of Black representation on TV and how Black artists and creators revolutionized the industry while confronting major challenges. The series features media icons like Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, Tracee Ellis Ross, Norman Lear, and Shonda Rhimes. Check it out.
The people who work on set, it can't just be that the people you see in front of the camera look like you. The people who you see behind the camera also have to look like you.
Because that's the thing that's really going to matter is like who is calling the shots about what television looks like in the future. Not just the green lighting, but who is producing, who is casting the actors, who is scouting the locations.
It has to be the costume designers. It has to be the guys holding the boom mic. Building a world of editors of color, creating space for showrunners of color. Like everybody needs to have an opportunity, and that's the goal.
First on CBS Mornings, Issa Rae joins us now. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm so happy
Thank you
to
for
be
joining
here.
us. So what inspired you to create this series about the representation of Black people in television?
Well, this was an entirely collaborative effort, but I'm not shy about the fact that the 90s raised me. And I think about what inspired me to even get my start was just seeing the people that I love, the people that I know, the people that raised me on TV. And that representation was so essential for me to.
Dang, raised her on TV. So y'all know on my channel I be talking about how they had certain movies for Black people to learn. Just like in my video, I went over the birth of a nation, how they made racist Caucasians, birth of a nation. So I'm gonna see, but I'm interested in seeing what she got.
Recognize that I could do it.
Yeah.
And then there was just a disappearance all of a sudden. And I was always fascinated by the dearth of Black characters and Black shows on TV. And then it felt like we were in this renaissance again in the tens. Do you say tens?
I think we can say 10. Yeah.
And the tens were hidden, and there were just so many new shows of color. And then we're at an era now where it's disappeared again. So this almost feels timely, but we started this in 2019 with the goal to have a comprehensive history of Black television.
And speaking of that comprehensive history, you admit in this documentary that you were surprised that a lot of your favorite Black TV shows were written by white people. And I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It is quite shocking once you actually realize that. Why is it important to not just have representation of Black folks on camera, but then also behind camera?
I mean, it makes such a difference when you're thinking about something as small as set design. I've seen that just even on my own productions and watching movies. Sometimes you'll watch a movie and you'll see a Black character's bedroom and you'll be like, they would never, what? They would never have that piece of art there.
Or how they dress.
How they dress.
Or their hair.
Yeah, and it can take you out of the story. And that's my thing. I'm like, I don't want to be taken out of a story. If I'm immersed, like those small details really, really matter. And there's just
not even that, just to know that the corruption there, if you know that you got a lot of Black people that's not even writing their own stories, they're not writing stories, and we know everything about our history that's been pretty much hidden from us. It at some point it gets to where it's like is worse than just we need Black representation. It's corruption.
So there's just a different level of honestly pride that goes in creating something that you know you're a part of and you understand
that
on a different level. Authenticity is the word for sure.
The documentary really is like a nostalgic visit back to all these shows like Martin, Moesha, Living Color, A Different World. Like I was like, oh yeah, that show and that show. I used to watch all these shows and then they all, like you said, kind of went away. What was it that happened? Because you guys really dive into how networks that were starting out would really start out with a lot of Black shows and then they would go away.
Yeah.
But we noticed, like I've noticed before, like it was a lot of weird stuff when we look back at the movies or we look back at like lyrics that some of the Caucasian people own. It's like we didn't even understand that this what they was saying or this what they was doing. Just like in Martin when he was dressing up as a woman. I remember it wasn't a big deal back then, but now looking back on it, just getting.
I was just talking about like I think the advent of cable made a huge difference where, you know, now these networks had to try to capture the broadest audience possible because they were losing audiences to different niche cable networks. And so they were like, how can we maximize the audience we have? And they have a tendency to go broad then. And broad sometimes just means white, the most eyeballs that you can get. And so specializing in TV shows that were considered Black felt like maybe they might be excluding an audience. But you know, so many of these shows were universal. Family Matters, everybody watched Family Matters. Fresh Prince, everybody watched Fresh Prince. But it's almost like kind of the time that we're in now where streaming is all and Wall Street kind of control Hollywood, and it is about like maximizing profits. And when you're thinking about maximizing profits, you're thinking about the most eyeballs possible. And so in I guess business mind, it means not having these Black shows or not having these shows.
Well, what is it like for you? Because in this moment, right, in this political climate, there has been this shift away from diversity and inclusion efforts. How does it feel from your vantage point as a storyteller telling Black stories and diverse stories?
I mean, it's tough, but the industry has changed generally. It's tough for, honestly, everyone out here. And, you know, what is it? You know, white America gets the cold, Black America gets the flu. And it's just, it's hard, but it's another time that I'm confident we'll get through. But there's so many opportunities in the digital era. And that's where I came from, you know, and I find hope in knowing that I can create. If I want to tell a story, I'm going to tell a story regardless. Right. So it's a tough time for the industry. Nobody kind of knows what to expect with also the advent of AI and all these other things. But we're all figuring it out together.
Yeah. Well, and on the subject of figuring out, it's important for people to have honest conversations with one another. And that is especially true when you're trying to make art together. And you're writing this new memoir, a new collection of essays of yours. I Should Be Smarter by Now is the title. People will be smarter if they read it. You write that people should have these conversations. And if
now, my thing is like, it's hard for us to trust. I mean, seeing the temperature of what they putting on the screens now with LGBTQ, it's like, it's hard to trust that people really. Shout out to the dude who made The Sinners. I mean, he seemed like that was authentic. Hopefully she authentic. I'm finna check it out. I'm finna see what it is about.
If you can't work with somebody and be 100% honest, you won't work with them, period. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, collaboration is so essential to this industry generally, and so much of creating great things. So many of my best experience of it have been working with people who are smarter than me, who are better, more talented. And I feel like in any collaborative relationship, if you can't be your full self, if you can't be honest about what you don't like, or give constructive feedback or criticism, if that's not well received, then it makes for a disingenuous relationship. And you can't.
If you don't own it, right, it's simple. If I own your culture, I'm gonna want you to do things that's gonna appease us. So to even think that, bro, you trying to convince somebody of your culture, to me, it's still disingenuous. You know, you're not owning your own culture. To me, it's just I can't get around.
Create your best work. And so I'm very clear, like, if I'm gonna work with you, you have to feel like you're able to be honest with me with no consequences. And I have to be able to do the same, because those are the best, most fruitful collaborative relationships.
As they say, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Hello.
I gotta go then. I'm in the wrong room.
Damn, Adriana.
That's right.
Well, you know what? There is.
Not with Issa here. Not with Issa here.
All right.
Let's go, girl. Come on. We gotta go.
Coming back in the third hour. So don't you guys go and join us. But the book, though, I Should Be Smarter by Now, is just out. So make sure you get that in the 2-part HBO documentary film, Seen in Her, debuts September 9th on HBO, and of course on HBO Max. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Now, do you think they're gonna let them talk bad about too much of Hollywood? You know, I mean, we know some weird stuff going on with Hollywood, but do I think she gonna really expose some stuff?
They're not wrong, though.
They're not wrong.
If you're a man who makes at least 150 grand a year and you're still embarrassed to take your shirt off at the pool, I will get you.
To seeing what she got.
And Issa Rae joins us now. Great to have you back.
Thank you.
And congrats on this documentary. One of the things that makes it so amazing is somebody, a team of people, a computer, I don't know what, went through the archives and found exactly the scene to illustrate every single point. What was the most amazing or surprising thing you remember catching and being like, oh, I remember, wow, it was like that?
Oh my gosh! I mean, I have to give credit to our amazing director, Giselle Bailey, and Phil, who were just, you know, extremely passionate about conveying so much of what we went through at the.
I don't hear her talking about ownership, so I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, everything sound good, but I don't hear her talking about how we have to own the culture for some reason. She talked about collabing with the people, and it's like Ice Cube. It's like, bro, Ice Cube had to ask them people. He still got to ask them people for movies. Oh, I want to do another Friday. It's like we have to beg them to make our movies. At what point do it be like, bro, why do we have to ask other cultures to produce something that we
envision? But there's an episode that I referenced. You know, my mom used to tape every episode of A Different World or a Cosby Show to take with us to Senegal.
You were living overseas, yeah.
I was living in Senegal, and so that growing up, like those VHS tapes were my gateway into Black television. And there was a.
Wait, do y'all know her? What's her background, man? That's crazy. Just to know, want to know what's going on. But
the end of an episode of A Different World, I never got to see, like the riot episode, the Rodney King riots in '92, and so even them just pulling that up, I was like, oh, I finally get to see the ending. How this happened, part 2, and so there was just so many moments that we got to like capture.
Is that moment in that where you think your mom was stealing her disciplinary style from Black moms on TV?
From Rashad.
Claire Huxtable. I was like, Mom, every line, bar for bar, you just took from Claire Huxtable.
It really is such a great revisiting to.
So that's weird because it's like, I don't know if they if she, you know, coming from Black America, it sounds like she on something else, but I'm finna let her cook because I got your boy
so many iconic
Like
scenes,
British
and
man
you
coming up
rediscover
next.
new ones. It's such a
Jarvis, man.
I love the documentary because it takes you behind the
Always
scenes
coming
too
in,
about what it's like to
touching
be in the room, to write these scenes. But for you, you know, what is it that you want people to know about classic shows like Sanford and Sons, In Living Color, Girlfriends that revolutionized TV?
I mean, they were watched and beloved by many, and again, I can't harp on this enough, but like being able to see your uncle, your cousins, your family represented on television, your circumstances, it helps you to feel seen, it helps you to belong. And these shows shaped culture, they shaped American culture. They're such a rich part of our history, and they are our stories. And
I wish he'd speak on the Baby Boy. I did that on my show. I talked about how destructive the movie The Baby Boy was with Tyrese, and that was like, I remember how even Precious. It's just we had a lot of movies that they put us in.
It was really important to immortalize them, you know, to not erase them, to herald them in this new ways, because now it feels like we don't look at the past enough and don't honor the past enough, and where we came from. And there's just something so special about that particular time and the way that we told stories that I miss today.
Let's talk about this time for you creatively. You executive producer of this documentary. You also are in the documentary. It takes a lot of work and a lot of time and effort. You also have this collection of essays, I Should Be Smarter by Now. And I wonder, what is it about these two things coming out at the same time, your headspace, why are you doing them now?
It's so funny, like coincidentally, I feel like I'm celebrating. I wrote my first book in 2015, and that was kind of my
Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl.
Awkward Black Girl, and I was just starting in the industry at that time. And
no, man, we gotta watch her background, man. I want to know what y'all
want to dominate the stock market without risking your own money. You just
Sound
need
of
to learn
love.
from the right teachers. My name's Tim Leung, and this is my dad, Tom. Hello.
Hello,
We help
wild
every day.
learning about it, and now I'm 10 years in, and I've written this second book kind of reflecting on that journey. And this documentary, I exist because of the shows in this. My career exists because of the shows in this documentary. And I remember even coming in to this industry, there still weren't a lot of Black shows on television, and I got to exist during a time when there were. And now with this documentary coming out, we were initially trying to highlight the renaissance of all these new Black shows being on television. And
I mean, we know that they're trying to ruin our image with what they was doing after that. It was a positive image, and now we see what the image they putting on now with these record deals is like crazy, right? But it's good that she said the history, because I want y'all to hear, I want y'all to hear old boy right here who gonna speak on the history of, here in America. I want to know if she really from there, if she really from here or not. But y'all check this out, man. I want to go over this little one here talking about.
This is absolute lies. I'm going to tell you something. You Africans need to stop speaking on us Aborigines who were deported off of our lands in the British Isles. Stop speaking for our people. You fake wannabe British Islanders and you fake wannabe Germans from that mud hut continent that only 30% has any architecture and drinkable water on. And you have the audacity to go to my lands in Germany. All those places my ancestors are from, copper toned skin, the royal bloodlines. And you have the audacity to say that we, going back to the ancient times of AD, of the original royals of the lands, of the Jacobites, of every piece of history, and you have the audacity to say that we migrated from those lands that didn't even exist yet. Show me a map of Africa in 1500, man. And to the person who tagged me to this, I have since removed that person. They know who they are. I will not have them on my page tagging me into nonsense. This is the only time I answer an African any point of this video. All right? Don't ever talk about our people in Ireland, of the original people, or of Scotland, or of Germany, or of Switzerland. Yes, we have copper people that's still there to this day. Or Scotland, we got a brother up there also. Many of them still there today. Ireland as well. Right? Even Eastern Europe. So don't you dare tell us we came from Africa. That's a load of bullets, man. You're a liar. You are a bull-faced liar. And I have my family bloodline, and I have the freaking phenotype to prove I come from there. I grew up in the United States. That's the only difference. Man, it's not, guess what? Them bloodlines stay strong. You can't take that away. You little immigrants love coming to all countries over there, and they love cosplaying as the original people. And it drives me absolutely insane. I'm tired of you cosplayers. It's time for us to take back what we truly are. If you read The American Discovery of Europe, you would see that Black Americans, aka American Indians, traveled to Europe. Then you had Aborigines of the land that were already in Europe. And those so-called Moors that story.
Black Americans traveled to Europe, just like they traveled to Egypt and put those pyramids. Those pyramids came from people from Americas. He gonna put some books out. I tried to get him to get the links for y'all, but I'm gonna.
Or you like Toyos? They came from.
I'm gonna highlight it. The books that explains this.
The Americas, The American Discovery of Europe, Volume 1. You can go read that book and stop being stupid and ignorant.
America Discovery of Europe. So there's books out that's telling you that America, us, we discovered a lot of these places.
And then you can read America's the Old World, Volume 2. Then you can read America's the Old World, the original Africa. Oh, that's gonna smack you right upside your head. It shows how you guys are fabricated melanin. You're not even us. That name don't even belong to that continent. It belongs to South America. But you wouldn't know that because you don't read. But you thought you ate with this stuff, huh? You thought you ate with this one, huh, man? Teaching lies about the European continent. You guys as Africans need to stop tying yourself to my continent. Because that's where my ancestors bled and died and were deported from. Not imported. You guys didn't get there till the 1900s through most of Europe, and it was a small population. We're still the majority in Europe as the original people. I got a whole map posted about every country there, about our population there. And it's not you, the majority. There's even 2 census records in Ireland. That's just an example. You have Black Irish, which is like the Black American, right? Because there's a Black American rate and a Nigerian American rate. Okay, there's a Black Irish rate and a Nigerian Irish rate. That's 2 sets of people. Get that through your thick school. I know what you're doing. You're trying to engineer another lay to tie us to you. We are not you. We don't want to be you. Not if you're a layer like that. And even if you try to, we're not the same. That's based on DNA, right? Which DEA, that's a whole different story. That's based on, again, the migration from the Americas long ago, which can be proven. And also, that goes back to, what did we talk about before? Phenotype. You do not have a phenotype. You're an African. You come from that continent. You do not rule anything in Europe. So we're going to shut that down. We were already in Europe before the white English came. The Negro Question Part 4. That's another book you can read and get your ignorant butt educated on, man. How about that? And that little fake Irish accent you got going on right there. Fake British accent, whatever the bloody hell that is, man. Fake. When people talk to me, they say, when you unlock their true identity, they say you have a real ancient Irish accent. I said, oh, I know. I know. It doesn't exist much anymore. We'll go ahead and keep teaching lies about our people. We're going to keep smacking you Africans on the top of the head with truth, because you cannot tell lies about the European continent of Queen Europa. She wasn't African either. Fun fact for you, I just found out she's related to the Queen of California. The melanated Queen of California, she's related to her. And she was the one that went over to Europe and named it in the first place. You can go ahead and look that up, Queen Europa. She's not an African. She's indigenous to the Americas. So you've been corrected. Get out of my face and don't talk about us no more, because you're an immigrant from Africa. Stop speaking for true Aborigine European history, because Europe is not a white word. It's a word from people of color. Aborigines from the Americas who migrated there and built those castles and the legacy and the thrones and the freaking royals. All right. They came much later to whitewash everything during the Renaissance era, even in Italy. I know guys in Italy with copper tone skin who talk about this right now to me. Germany. We know somebody living from Germany through Ellis Island, an original German, not myself. Enough with your lies, you scumbag. All right. We don't want to hear from you Africans no more. Get the hell out of my face. The God has spoken.
You know what? I wasn't even going to answer. Shows out to my Switzerland ancestry. See, I'm always showing what I am. Of the copper toe skin, original people of the Queen Europa's land that came from the Americas. All right? So you don't want us teaching truth over here.
So y'all understand it. They saying that they come from America. Their ancestors, their lineage, these people were from America. They're looking at us like, yeah, them people there travel all the way to Europe. Travel all the way to Egypt. Why they ain't telling nobody this? Why are they making it seem like this never existed? See, when you say we all come from Africa, you just got to dismiss all of the people that really put in work.
You want to have your little African, booty scratching self tie all the way up into our European history on our continent and Asia and all of these other places we built before these people even came. Now, we're going to stop that now. So, as you guys can see, this person here says you're mocking pretenders. First of all, the so-called Black Americans or American Indians. This has been proven by genealogy. Number 2, by DNA, which is DEA. But you know what? That's a conversation for another day. All right, let's go even deeper. Okay? Why is it every single time that the so-called, you call them Black Americans through the so-called family tree, why do they always go back to the Americas and not one African slave is found in that tree? Not one. But then the Native Americans only have genealogical records till 1850 onward. So you said they came through the Bering Strait, right? I grew up in Anchorage, Alaska. And if you think I'm talking bollocks, man, look at that right there. What does that say right there? Alaskan. Right on this hat right here. That's Alaskan right there, right? Okay. Where can you buy this at? Well, this is hard to get outside Alaska. I can tell you that right now. You don't have too many hats like that no more. So you can only buy that at Walmart in Anchorage, Alaska. That's the only place you can get hats like that customly made. All right. So that's where I grew up at. And I can tell you right now, there's melanated people of copper toned skin that live in Anchorage, Alaska as well, who've been there for generations before them Siberian, Mongolian migrants immigrated to the Americas. They were brought over during the Spanish Crown. That's why I like being in the Philippines. This conversation could go so deep. But you know what? I'm not going to go there right now. All right, because I'm going to tell you some of these people here that are modern day Filipinos to that's so.
Exactly, y'all. I did a channel when we was talking about this, that the people that they got pretending to be Indians in America, they migrated them from the Philippines. Like you got people in Mexico when they did like DNA, these people was migrated there. You know, you got black people in the Philippines that's aboriginal to that land. You got pretty much people from the land everywhere.
Called Native American stuff as well, because they're tied into that as well. And these are the lies that people perpetuate in these countries. All right. Those people that you see of copper toned skin in the Americas, even in Alaska, right? The melanated ones, they were already there. These people didn't come from Africa. You get what I'm saying? Why can't they find one slave in their tree? You're still not answering this question. So how are they pretendians? Native Americans are pretendians. People that come from here, the modern day Filipino, are pretendians. People that came from Japan there because they came to Mexico too, the pretendians. And they don't even come from these nations. Oh, don't get me started. Don't get me started. I'm telling you, I'll go in on people here too. If you watch it, you want the smoke, by all means, come ahead and comment. That's why you guys are so quiet. You don't want that smoke. I got your documents. You don't want that smoke. Your time is up. You little sellout Africans, your time is up. You little sellout American Indians, your time is up. You little sellout Aborigines of Europe, your time is up. You little white people sellouts, your time is up. You little wannabe Spanish, your time is up. You little fake Arabs, your time is up. Your time is up for all of y'all. All right, these people are the ancient ones of the land because the Americas is the oldest landmass on this planet that cannot be argued. Africa came much later, man. You people weren't even around yet.
So let's get this straight. Like we said, the DNA that we said of, I got brother name slipped my mind. So his name was Perry. Mr. Perry, he got the oldest DNA and it dated to the Americas in South Carolina. So it was some type of agenda. It was a scheme to like point everybody back to just one place, black people. So I guess they could take over their land. This is what.
Check your maps in 1500. You didn't even have no more than 5 million on your whole continent. And West Africa had jungle. And then outside West Africa was all desert in 1500. So how do we come from Africa? Exactly. Close your mouth. You can't speak on a subject you don't know because your people weren't in existence yet. Just like the modern day Filipino. You love to get in our business. You weren't even in existence yet here. You came 200 years ago. 250. I'm just giving you breadcrumbs at that point. You came 250 years ago here. Through Spanish colonization. And they have the audacity that like you know what you're talking about. I'm calling them out too. I'm calling all of y'all out. You better come with some receipts when you're talking about our people. If you don't know what you're talking about, if you ain't got no family tree documents to back what you're saying, I advise you to keep your mouth shut. Because this isn't the time to start talking when you don't know anything. Because we're hitting people on the head, not with fists, but with knowledge. We're tired of your lies. Of all of you. Especially comments like that. He's mocking pretend. I'm mocking you over in Africa. I'm mocking people like you here in Manila. I'm mocking people like you in Osaka. I'm mocking people like you in Dubai. Because you're the fakers. You're the fakers. You're the pretendians. You're the wannabes. You're the never were's. That's just the way it is. And you will never change anything I'm teaching. Right? To those of you telling truth, I'm not talking to you directly. All right? I don't care what your color is. The point is, these people know who they are. And you know what they're saying. Right there. That comment. That trash.
You don't know what they saying.
Right? Like I said, Native Americans came in 1850. End of discussion. We're going to end it there. They came in 1850. They came in 1850. Guess what? Spanish colonization was going on at that time still. They came in 1850. And what did they do in the Americas? They labeled them all Aboriginal or American Indians in 1850 across Canada down to Argentina. And then here they stopped in 1821 in the Philippines. Shouts out to Dre the Chosen One for putting me on that knowledge. All right, because I didn't know in the Philippines they stopped in 1821 labeling these people back. The ones who came later. They tried the destiny swap. Didn't work. Didn't work because some people said, I'll just go ahead and get out of Manila. I'll go ahead and get out of here. I'll go ahead and get out of there. They just leave. They weren't stupid. That's what I'm telling you. All right.
So it's people that know their history, that know that the America got deep history, and they know the claim that they people originated.
We're gonna go ahead and close this out, man. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm done talking. Get this peon out of my face. The God has spoken.
So I just want to say shout out to anybody.
So that's been going viral around the internet, man. Let me just go ahead. But back on Issa Rae, her father from Senegal and her mother is from Louisiana. So that means she's from the lineage. I mean, she's definitely from the lineage. But we'll see. I'm definitely gonna review that movie she putting out. I mean that documentary, you know, because it don't seem like she's independent in her. It's totally independent. I'm gonna see Unseen. I want to know if it's independent. I don't know. Seen in her. My bad. I want to know if she's documentary. Because if it is, I mean, take all that back I was saying. But I want to know. So, I mean, I ain't gonna go and waste y'all time, but yeah, I went over those two topics. Spiritual eyes. Shout out to you, Avatar. Y'all tapped in. We're gonna definitely gonna get in, but I had to tap in on that movie. I was gonna go over that. Shout out to Trev. He sent me that. Patrick with David versus the Capitalist. I'm gonna probably go over that tomorrow. That's a good one, but there's a reason why America has the most power out of all these countries. It's because of us FBAs. Yeah. But he said that it's history. Like if you tell people, they don't know that it's people that travel. Like we were the travelers. Like we were the people from America was traveling around the country and doing things. But it's good to see somebody that's way out there in Ireland saying that, like, yeah, man, we got people, black people originally from everywhere, but America's is where everybody really originated, you know? That's where the power came out of. But when you tell some people that, they like, nah, man, it's Africa. Now, Africa got its stuff. We're not saying that, but they should be calling themselves African American. But some people hear people talk like this and they think it's divisive and they don't understand. We just gotta. It's been a lot of misinformation, bro, in our culture to try to keep things messed up. So when you speak like this, you're being divisive. But Just trying to get truth and understanding. Better understanding the self, for real. 10:41. But yeah, those are 2 videos I got, man. It wasn't nothing else too big that I seen in the Trump was doing something. I was gonna do a video about that. I didn't touch on that, but how y'all feel about Lisa? I ain't gonna say Lisa because every time I see her name, I think of Issa Rae, but her name is Issa Rae. But what y'all think, man? Y'all think she's solid? I want to know how the people feel about it. But I definitely got to tap into her situation. But yeah, it's been a lot of talk about this Aboriginal talk, which is good. I think it's a good thing to have. But yeah, because Nick Fuentes, he gonna get online and he gonna bash us. This is what these countries, I mean, everybody want to see. They want to see us talk bad. People talk bad about us. I want y'all to see what Nick Fuentes been saying some stupid stuff lately too, though. But he ain't talking about the ring of people. He ain't talking about the ring of people that's being found doing all of that. But I wouldn't trust it. She definitely suspect. Feminist energy. For real, bro. I feel something ain't right, man. Anytime when we on their movie theaters, look at Tyler Perry. Ice Cube disappointed me. I was like, bro, you begging somebody, bro? Like, that is crazy. I feel like they got control and they want control and they can't. They not pushing that. They're gonna push us, our leaders, and they're gonna be people that's not pushing on ownership and control of your own story. It's like, so I'm with you, Jarvis. I don't know, man. You talking about the black girl in the video you showed earlier? Yeah. I'm talking about her, man. I don't think how I speak on the image of black people on black television and how they like display us, like certain movies I know about, the gangster movies, all of the precious movies. I'm like, man, this was destructive. Yeah, Ice Cube went on Tucker Carlson show, Sambo Bab. That's what I'm saying, man. Ice Cube broke my heart, bro. I was like, dang, I would have never thought. But some of the people that we thought in the past that was, they was with the agenda. So that's why it worked so well, man. It wouldn't have worked this well without them having, eagerly ready participants to do some of this stuff. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But she dropped something. It's coming out next week. What's today? Tuesday. It's coming out next Tuesday. So I'm gonna know. Once I see that video, I'm gonna know where she's staying, what type of content she put out. I'm gonna know where she's staying at. But yeah, that's all the news that I caught, man, today. But it's crazy that it's coming out that it's a lot of Black Americans that had great, rich history here that they ain't telling everybody. He put Cube trying to get that white supremacy money for the big three. Yeah, bro, he don't even own that, man. I was like, he partnered with that. He got somebody else. A little hat guy is the biggest, he's the biggest. He got the biggest ownership. I'm like, there's no way we can't have nothing. It's like we can't have nothing. I don't believe it. It's corruption. Set up. we're too profitable. So it's like, bro, you can't let them own nothing because they so profitable. So this the games we gotta go with. But yeah, man, it's sad how Hollywood pimping us, music industry. But yeah, that's what I got, man, on this one. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Did you see Cardi B got away with assault and racial slurs against a black woman today? I don't know if the woman was FBA though. I did see that, bro. I seen some of the trial. I mean, when you got lawyer money, you in a good state. That's a good first step. But Cardi B, I seen when she announced herself as an Afro-Caribbean. I seen when she announced, I'm like, let's check it out.
So at this point, both sides will be giving our closing argument, basically a summation, just so you can jot down things, take notes if you feel comfortable. So you all heard all of the evidence in this case, and the distinction between a civil case and a criminal case are different. And what that means is, in a civil case, our proof, what has to be in the box, is greater than 50%. Touch more than 50%. Maybe
Act the fool on the
weight more than
stand. I ain't gonna lie.
51%. It's not 100%. The standard is a little bit more than 50%. In this case, you've heard lots and lots of testimony. We've had the plaintiff who's testified. We've had the plaintiff's mother who's testified. We've had the plaintiff's grandmother who's testified. Those three witnesses explained their recollection about the scar. There was testimony that the scar or the cut came from this incident. That's a very, very important fact. There's really nothing to contradict that. If anything, our expert witness, Dr. Mulliken, you remember he came to court. He's a very well-respected doctor that specializes in plastic surgery. And his testimony was that, in his opinion, as an expert, that when the way that this scar, the way that this cut happened was from
I never heard so many curse
there were
words in the
three
courtroom.
different scrapes,
Let
three
me
different
talk like that.
scratches, and that the middle one was the deepest one, and that's really the one that he worked on. Now, the issue in this case, well, before I go to that, is the photograph that you saw, okay, which is in evidence. There's a photograph of the scar, which is a 2-centimeter scar.
No, she ain't got
The
no.
photograph, because of the skin color, it does not show well in photos. The cut that was on the face does not show up as well. So you may have to really look at it deeper than just had it been someone else. The other thing that I wanted to highlight is I really just don't understand. The defendant came here, used all of this foul language. This is a court of law. You cannot speak this way in court. I have never seen this
Got mad at the security
and for
guard.
her to use all of those words, F word, B word, all these different words.
That's crazy.
It's a disrespect to us. It's a disrespect to the judge. It's disrespect to this courthouse. You cannot come to court and say these kind of words. It's just disrespectful. And
Look how she looking.
just because Miss Ellis, just because Miss, also known as Cardi B, is a celebrity, doesn't mean that she could just say and do whatever she wants and attack people. Okay, if you recall,
And Kamala Harris got her off.
about Miss Ellis. When she was 19 years old, she moved out of her house. She went to college. She's a college graduate. She has a bachelor's. She went on to become a security guard
Bachelor's
for
degree?
4 years, from 2014 to 2018. She did whatever she needed to do to become a licensed security guard. And she did that job. And when this incident happened in 2018, that was cut off. She lost her future in security work, in something further, whether it's FBI, police, attorney, whatever she wanted to do.
I ain't like how Cardi B, they said, did what the lady said. She said, you a security guard. You a security, like.
This incident
like
cut it off. No more. Because of the trauma that she sustained. And I get it. There were doctors who gave their opinions. For example, the defense brought Dr. Rosenberg. Nice guy, gentleman.
Every day with
he complimented me.
On,
Maybe he's doing that because he's psychiatrist.
I seen the gold one. Right, bro.
But the point is, he got $40,000 to come here and basically tell us
what's up with her with that.
The plaintiff didn't suffer any emotional injury. That's not the facts. The facts are, Imani Ellis was working as security guard. There was a change. Okay, it's very, very traumatic to be assaulted and battered. I can only imagine the embarrassment, the emotions, the pain.
Down with Kamala Harris, bro.
Miss
She
Imani
down with them
Ellis
people,
suffered.
bro. I'm telling you.
Now, in this case, there was overwhelming testimony that Miss Ellis was working as a security guard.
She got them people on her back. Got them people
There's
on
no
her
question.
team, bro.
She was in full uniform. She had a badge on.
She could do whatever,
Even,
say whatever she
The
wants.
defendant admitted, yes, I understood that this person was a security guard. And there has to be some level of respect. These are not doormen or doorwomen. The defendant, when she came to the building, instead of listening to the plaintiff, to listening to her commands, you got to do this, you got to.
Yeah, man. She had a different every week. I'm like, that ain't even necessary. She might be an agent of chaos for the go. She definitely is, bro. Look, we already exposed the other girl is. What's her name? Sexy Red. That's what these people is. Oh man, appreciate you, Takeoff. Yeah, man. She definitely is, man, a chaos though, Java. Appreciate y'all for tapping in, bro. But yeah, man. We had to cover the stuff for the people, bro. But yeah, man, I appreciate you, bro. Takeoff, man. I'm listen, I'm coming on here tomorrow, y'all. Standing on more business. Man, I just got this Google thing, bro. I've been so excited about. I've been working on this Google on my Google business for so long, and now I'm just getting calls and starting to get the results. So whatever you doing, man, stick at it, bro. It's gonna start coming, So whatever you got going, bro, keep going at it, bro. It's been sometimes it's a long grind before you start getting some results. Just keep objective in the question. Yeah, man, they let her do her thing, man. Sexy Red, her, what's the other one name? It's like, that's where we at right now. They don't want to put no men in front of our faces. Like every time you see it, it's women, woman, woman, woman. But we love the women and everything, but it's like they trying to feminize the culture, man. And we got to tighten it up, for real. Empowerment Wear. ASC Empowerment Wear LLC. What's up? What? What's that, man? Empowerment Wear. It sounds like some clothes, bro, you throw on. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, man. So I like empowerment word though. That sounds like a good salute to you. If that's your business, man. We're gonna have to definitely throw me some empowerment wear, man. I rock it. You know what I mean? Some of that LLC gear money. But yeah, man. I'm gonna be on here tomorrow, y'all. Probably go over a debate. Y'all know I like my clothing brand. Y'all check me out. For sure, man. We gonna definitely check you out, bro. Empowerment wear. I like that, bro. What's the website? Throw the website in there. Throw your boy your shirt. Empowerment wear. That's what I'm gonna probably start doing, man. Probably start wearing there, like just shouting out brands, putting the brands on. I like that name though. That empowerment is deep, bro. Touch. I seen that word. I'm like, oh, empowerment. Yeah, man. Throw the website in the chat, man. We gotta definitely be supporting each other, man. I gotta throw the empowerment shirt on one of the shows. But so y'all see, I covered Cardi B, I covered Issa Rae, then I covered FBA business today. So y'all know some topics that be good. Y'all be definitely be putting me on some topics. If y'all know any, you can always hit me. Always. But yeah, I got to get up out of here, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Tapping in. Go ahead, man. Jarvis, throw that link in there, man. I mean, throw the website in there if you can, man, before we close it out. I don't want to close it out before you drop the name of everybody who in here who seen it, but it's all good. But y'all look out for me tomorrow, man. I will be dropping something. Me and Trev gonna do something this weekend, so we gonna be back on that real Malcolm X type vibe. Y'all stay tuned. But peace and love, man. Appreciate y'all. Catch y'all in the next one.